What you're about to see should not exist. In the middle of the Sahara Desert, one of the most delicate plants in the world is growing, not just growing, but growing giant. Long green vines, thick leaves, massive vanilla pods, all appearing in one of the hottest places on Earth. This is vanilla, scientifically known as Vanilla planifolia. Vanilla is one of the most expensive flavors in the world. It normally grows in tropical forests, humid air, warm temperatures, soft soil, places like Madagascar, Mexico, Indonesia. But here, there is no rain, no trees, no humidity, only heat, only sand. And yet, giant vanilla plants appeared. Some pods were 3 times bigger than normal. Scientists couldn't believe it, because vanilla flowers bloom only one day. Miss that day, you lose the crop. But here, dozens of pods were growing. Naturally. No greenhouse. No protection. Just the Sahara Desert. And this discovery could change farming forever. Before we continue, would you believe vanilla could grow in the desert? Comment yes or no below. And if you want to see more impossible discoveries, don't forget to like and subscribe. Because what happens next is even more unbelievable. Before the giant vanilla appeared, this land was completely empty. No plants, no trees, no water, only endless sand. For centuries, nothing had grown here. The Sahara Desert is one of the harshest places on Earth. Temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius. Rain sometimes doesn't fall for years. The soil is dry. The wind is strong. Most plants cannot survive, especially vanilla, because vanilla needs humidity, shade, moisture, and soft soil. But here, none of that existed. Scientists decided to try something impossible. They chose a remote location, far from cities, far from water sources, just pure desert. The sand was hard, dry, almost lifeless. Yet they began preparing the land, because sometimes the most impossible places hide the greatest discoveries. But here's something interesting. Some scientists believe deserts were once green. Thousands of years ago, the Sahara had rivers, plants, even animals. No. They wanted to see if life could return. Before we continue, do you think deserts can become farms in the future? Comment desert if you think yes. Or comment impossible if you don't believe it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Because what happens next is where the miracle begins. The land was ready. But there was one big problem. Vanilla cannot grow in sand. The roots are delicate. They need soft, rich soil. But the Sahara has none. Only dry sand. No nutrients. No moisture. So scientists did something unusual. They brought special black soil, rich in organic material, full of nutrients. This soil could hold water longer and protect delicate roots. They dug long trenches, deep into the desert sand, carefully removing the dry layers. Then, they filled the trenches with black soil. Slowly, carefully. This was the first step. Creating life where nothing existed before. Then came the next step. Drip irrigation. Black irrigation pipes were placed underground. These pipes slowly released water, drop by drop, saving water, keeping roots alive. This method is used in extreme environments, because vanilla plants cannot survive sudden watering. They need slow moisture. And now, for the first time, the Sahara Desert had a rich soil, a controlled water, a prepared ground. Everything was ready. But the real test was about to begin. Would vanilla survive? Or would the desert win again? Before we continue, have you ever seen farming in the desert before? Comment yes if you have. Comment no if this is your first time. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because the planting begins next. The soil was ready. The irrigation system was working. Now came the most delicate step. Planting vanilla. Vanilla is not planted like normal crops. It is planted using small vines. Young plants. Very fragile. Very sensitive. Scientists carefully brought small vanilla saplings of Vanilla planifolia. Each plant was placed slowly into the black soil. Not too deep. Not too shallow. Because vanilla roots are very delicate. One mistake could kill the plant. The desert heat made things harder. Strong sunlight. Dry air. Hot sand. So scientists created small shade supports. Wooden sticks. Small frames. To help vines climb. Because vanilla plants are climbing vines. They grow upward, searching for support. Then something important happened. The first plants were watered. Slowly. Drop by drop. No flooding. No heavy watering. Just gentle moisture. Then they waited. Hours passed. Days passed. Nothing changed. The desert remained silent. But underground, something was happening. The roots were adapting. Trying to survive. This was the most critical moment. Because if these plants survived, everything would change. Before we continue, do you think the plants survived? Comment survive or failed below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Because the first signs of life are about to appear. At first, nothing happened. The desert stayed quiet. The sand stayed dry. The vanilla plants looked weak. Some leaves started to bend. The heat was intense. Over 45 degrees Celsius. Most plants would not survive this. Scientists watched carefully. Every hour mattered. Every drop of water mattered. Days passed. No clear growth. Then, something small appeared. Tiny green shoots. New leaves. Slowly emerging from the vines. It was subtle. Almost invisible. But it was real. The plants were alive. This was the first sign. The roots had adapted. The vanilla plants were surviving the Sahara. Then the growth continued. Leaves became thicker. Vines started extending. Slowly spreading across the sand. The green color became stronger. The desert was changing. And for the first time, life was returning. This moment was historic. Because vanilla is one of the most sensitive plants. And yet, it was surviving one of the harshest deserts. Before we continue, did you expect vanilla to survive? Comment yes if you're surprised. Comment no if you predicted this. And if you're enjoying this discovery, don't forget to like and subscribe. Because the next stage is where things become unbelievable. Something unexpected began to happen. The vanilla plants started growing faster. Much faster than expected. Normally, Vanilla planifolia grows slowly. Very slowly. Sometimes taking months. Just to grow small vines. But here, in the Sahara, growth accelerated. New vines appeared. Long green stems stretched across the sand. Leaves became thicker. Stronger. Darker green. Scientists were surprised. Because desert conditions should slow growth. Not increase it. But the constant sunlight was giving plants more energy. More sunlight. More growth. Then something even more surprising happened. The vines started climbing. Wrapping around wooden supports. Reaching higher. Searching for space. This was a major milestone. Because climbing means healthy plants, strong roots, and successful adaptation. Day by day, the desert started turning green. Slowly, quietly, but clearly, the Sahara was no longer lifeless. It was changing. And this was only the beginning. Because soon, the first flowers would appear. Before we continue, did you expect the plants to grow faster in the desert? Comment faster if you're surprised. Comment expected if you predicted this. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Because the first flowers will change everything. Then one morning, something incredible happened. Small buds appeared. Tiny, green, delicate. The first signs of flowers. This was a critical moment, because vanilla planifolia flowers are extremely rare. Each flower blooms only once, and only for one day. Just one day. If pollination does not happen, the flower dies. No vanilla pod. No harvest. That is why vanilla is so expensive. Farmers usually pollinate by hand. Very carefully. Very gently. Because the flowers are fragile. But here, in the Sahara Desert, the first flowers began opening. Soft pale yellow petals. Delicate and beautiful. Against the orange sand. Scientists watched closely. Because this moment would decide everything. If flowers survived, giant vanilla pods could form. Then, more buds appeared. More flowers opened. One by one. The desert was blooming. This was something no one expected. A tropical flower, blooming in the Sahara. Before we continue, did you know vanilla flowers last only one day? Comment one day if this surprised you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because the next stage is the most exciting. The first giant pods. A few days later, something remarkable appeared. The flowers started to fade. But in their place, small green pods began forming. This meant one thing: successful pollination. This was a huge milestone, because vanilla pods normally take 6 to 9 months to grow. Very slowly, very carefully. But here, in the Sahara, the pods began growing steadily. Longer, thicker, healthier. Scientists measured the first pods. They were already larger than expected. This was unusual, because desert conditions usually limit growth. But the constant sunlight was helping the plants. More sunlight, more energy, more growth. So, the pods became clearly visible, hanging from the vines. Bright green, smooth surface, growing every day. The desert was producing vanilla. And not just normal vanilla. Giant vanilla. Some pods looked twice as long as normal. This shocked researchers, because this meant the Sahara environment was helping growth. Before we continue, do you think desert-grown vanilla could be stronger? Comment stronger or normal below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because the final harvest is about to begin. Months passed, and the moment finally arrived. The vanilla pods were ready. They were longer, thicker, stronger, unlike anything scientists had seen before. Normally, vanilla planifolia pods grow around 15 to 20 centimeters. But here, some pods were nearly twice the size. Heavy, dense, full of flavor. Scientists carefully inspected the plants. Because harvesting vanilla is extremely delicate, each pod must be picked by hand, at the perfect moment. Too early, the flavor is weak. Too late, the pod splits open and loses value. So researchers moved carefully. One by one, the giant pods were cut. This was the first harvest. In the Sahara Desert, a place once thought impossible, the green pods filled the baskets. Slowly, carefully, the desert was producing one of the world's most expensive flavors. And the results were just beginning. Before we continue, would you try desert-grown vanilla? Comment try or no below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because what they found inside shocked everyone. Then came the final moment. The giant vanilla pods were ready to be opened. Scientists carefully selected the largest pod. Long, thick, perfectly grown. This was the moment of truth. The pod was slowly cut open. Inside, thousands of tiny black seeds. Rich, dark, dense. This was pure vanilla. And something was different. The aroma was stronger, richer, more intense. Scientists were surprised, because desert-grown vanilla had higher concentration of flavor compounds, especially vanillin. Vanillin. This is what makes vanilla valuable. The stronger the aroma, the higher the price. And this desert-grown vanilla had exceptional quality. Even more surprising, the pods were larger, meaning more product, more value. From one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Sahara Desert had produced one of the world's most expensive flavors. This discovery could change farming. Dry lands could become productive. Deserts could grow high-value crops. And this was just the beginning, because scientists now believe more rare crops could grow in deserts. Before we end, would you believe deserts could feed the future? Comment future if you believe. And if you enjoyed this journey, like the video. Subscribe for more impossible discoveries, because the next experiment might be even more unbelievable.